Hey everyone, welcome to today's live session. And we have a special guest today that's going to be coming on screen here in just a minute. So I'm going to wait till I get our first few comments before we get started. Let me type in here, welcome to all of you. Welcome. If you see above, we can see the beautiful meltdown from crude oil that I've been talking about, especially since Sunday. So that is up here over my shoulder. But we are going to get started here in a few seconds. Again, just a reminder, there is about a 20-second lag always when you go on YouTube Live from whatever streaming service you use. So we are going to get started here in a minute. We're going to talk about this crude oil above my shoulder in just a minute. So, hey, we got a nice welcome from Got Sports. If you have not checked out Got Sports, go check it out. Pretty cool channel on editing sports clips. This young man has a future. So I'm going to wait for a few hellos, and then I'm going to bring on a special guest. Samira, hello, hola, from the West Coast. Okay, hello. So I am going to go full screen. That's hilarious. Hey, listen, if you're driving to Costco, be careful. Okay, but I'm glad that you're here tuning in. Just keep it on audio. But that's commitment right there, folks. That is commitment right there. Victor, what's up? So let me go full screen because I want to get to the analysis. Let me bring up a special guest. We have a birthday in the house today. We have a fifth birthday for, hold on. Okay, everybody, say hello to Molly, my golden doodle. She turns 5 years old today. So let's give her some love. Let's give her some love on the comments and say, happy birthday, Molly. My little girl turns 5 years old today. She is my partner at home when no one's home. She keeps me company here. And say hello to Molly. Bye, Molly. Molly is going to say thank you so much. So our golden doodle is 5 years old today. She's not the large one. She's more of the mini one, but she is 5 years old today. So happy birthday to Molly. I'm going to put her down now. She wants to go back and take a nap. Yes, good, Papa? Where's Papa? You're on YouTube Live. You're on YouTube Live. All right, this is your first YouTube Live for 5 years old. You're 5 years old. Okay. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. All right. She's always by my feet, and she's kind of hanging out. So happy birthday to Molly. Happy birthday to Molly. Thank you. Happy birthday. God Sports, thank you. Gonna throw out some comments real quick. Awesome. She is 5 years old. She is thinking about getting another one, but awesome. Okay, so let's jump into the analysis here. Let's go over to crude oil and let's see what is going on with crude oil. Well, Jesus, this is still dropping. I wish I could say I stayed for the whole drop, but I did not, because that has never been my strong suit in my psychology of trying to stay for trades like this. But we've been talking about this. We talked about this last week when we introduced the article. And again, it was just an article, but we talked about how the United States government was planning to buy crude oil at around $79 a barrel. And sure enough, look where we are at now. Okay. So governments don't lie, right? They have a plan. They want to make money off of you and off of me. But anyways, we are here now. So we're going to be doing a full breakdown. I'll spend most of my time today. I'm going to have about 30 to 35 minutes. And then I'm going to take a break and we'll be off the live. I do have a private coaching session at 1 p.m. So I want to take about a 20-minute break in between. So we are going to be looking at this. But man, this was beautiful, right? We talked about it yesterday, right? Just came right off of that 61.8 and just has completely melted. And if you've been in this trade or if you've been taking sells on crude oil, and do not ask if you're going to buy crude oil now. No, we're not gonna chase this day candle right here, right now. Okay, we are not going to chase this day candle right here, right now. We are going to be patient. We're going to give you some zones, but again, we are not going to chase this beautiful sell that we had here. But if you've been dropping some sells, if you've been winning some trades with sells, definitely let me know in the comments. I want to applaud you. I want to salute you. Hello to our good friends from Germany today. I did get your message. Hopefully you got it back. And I translate your messages. And whenever I get a message from a language I do not know, I do cheat. I use Google Translate, but I send it back to you in your native language because I want to keep learning, and I want to give you that respect and giving it back to your language as well. So, all right, here we are. We are going to jump into the crude oil analysis where we are now, and then we're going to jump into one more. We'll also take a look at the meltdown of gold. Okay, so let's go ahead and wipe this out. Hey, don't forget, if you're getting some value on these live sessions, if you want more live sessions like this, kind of a mid-afternoon, so we can kind of take a look at what's going on and kind of set you up for the next 24 to 40 hours, hit that like button below. I appreciate it. And then later, share the link to this video on your social media sites and so forth. Hey, Sam, good to see you as well. All right, let's break it down. And we are going to say bye-bye to this beautiful, beautiful issue here. And that's what happens when someone knocks on the door. Okay, my son is home today, no school, so he is going to take advantage of it. All right, so we are jumping in here right now, and we are going to take a look at this crude oil analysis video. Okay, so we are here. We are sitting on the daily chart, and we are going to look at a couple of things here real quick. And first thing I want to do is begin to look at that next main level, which is going to be right about here. Yeah, we're going to be right about here. I think I talked about it yesterday on the video. We're going to get to 77. We're definitely going to get to 77. That's almost like for sure, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't split screen. So we are almost going to get to 77. And again, the reason why I'm going to use this area is because I can see here that we've had previous levels of support there. And then we've also had areas of resistance there on several occasions as well. So this is kind of an area that we do got to kind of pay attention to. And this area is 76.98, which is what? 77. So remember, zones are never a straight line. They're kind of an area, right? Be kind, give yourself a few points here or there, right? We're going to get into that area there. This is going to be very, very important. This is going to be very, very important. The reason why this is going to be very, very important is because if price closes below that 77, we have a very significant chance that we could see 70s in crude oil, okay? Because this is going to change the complete structure of crude oil if we break this level right here. So this is something that we have to definitely pay attention to because we have a chance to go even lower, okay? Hey, if you can buy at 79 or you can buy at 70, which one would you buy at? You would buy at 70, right? Now, I do remember this from the initial government report saying they initially wanted to buy crude oil at 70, but they settled on 79. Was that to throw people off? Do they still want to get lower? Of course they do, right? Of course they do. We're going to trade what we see, but I just want you to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. So as we kind of go back to full screen here, we are going to be looking at this key level right in here. We've already seen today, right? We're at a 3. If you look up here on the upper right-hand corner, right? Energy sector, at least crude oil, has dropped over almost 4%, almost 4%, right? So no, I am not even looking to buy crude oil anytime here because I need it up here on the drink. We are looking at a massive, massive sell-off here. Now, that being said, when we get into this yellow box, we are seeing this reverse teacup, right? We are seeing that reverse teacup. So that is why we need to put an alert in this area. And I'm going to put it right now at the top of this box. Hold on. Okay. So we need to definitely put an alert in this area right in here to see what price does. Okay. Because then if we do get a day candle to close below, I always do that. Then we're looking for this scenario right in here. This scenario here is what you can call a break and retest. A day candle closes below, a few days comes back up, and then we continue moving down in this direction. Okay. So if you need an example on the day chart, what a break and retest looks like, you definitely want to take a screenshot of this. Take out your phone. This happens on every time frame. This is a perfect break and retest. This is a perfect break and retest. Okay. So you see it over and over. This is a nice break and retest as well. So again, just giving you some examples, kind of what to look for. Okay. So that's kind of what we'll be looking for. So for right now, in my opinion, crude oil is off limits, especially for any buys, right? And I wouldn't sell from here, right? I wouldn't start selling here thinking, oh, I'm going to grab another 30, 40 pips. You might, right? You might. I mean, listen, if you wanted to sell from here, you can. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait to see what price does down in this area. Okay. So that's kind of what we have to kind of look for. And so forth. So one thing I want to kind of look at is if we kind of, I don't know, if you kind of look at this area in here and you ask yourself, okay, well, where did price strongly take off and where is it at now? Then you have to look at this right here. Okay. So let's start by doing this. Let's start thinking of a game plan. So I would say if we did a fib level from here to here, holy Jesus, look at that. Look where that brings us into. Okay, if you just had the epiphany and if you just had an aha moment, type in aha, because on the daily chart, the swing trade down is going to be right around that 61.8 area, right? So this is just another reason why I'll definitely be looking for price to react, right? This is when the initial big swing up started. We had some dips, right? But this is now when we definitely began to come way down. So by putting a fib level here at the very bottom, at the start of this swing up, gives us some clarity now as to the 61.8. So if you definitely can see, what happens there, we're going to be looking for price to react there, or we're going to wait to see what happens on a smaller time frame. Okay, on a smaller time frame. So let's take a look at this from an 8-hour perspective, right? So from an 8-hour perspective, we came here before, as you can see, and we reacted, right? We reacted right there. We went back up. Okay, so we are here now. I'm not trusting right now this second touch, but if it gets deeper in the yellow box, that's a good risk to reward, especially for the style of trading that I do, right? And looking at something like this, if we can get down into the white, especially, right? Looking at something like this, man, the glare coming in from this window is crazy today, right? Trying to go back up to at least here, right? Some form of recovery. I doubt it if the big oil producers are going to want to let price fall any further, right? So this is somewhere that's should be very interesting to all of us right about now. We're at the 61.8. I'm going to look to see if it can drop a little bit lower into the zone, but I would definitely be looking there to do your swing trade, scalp trade, whatever the case may be, because the reward to risk is very high. I'll take a loss here all day, right? Because I have a 5-1 to just get back up to the 38. Okay, I don't think we're going to see 90s here anytime soon. So I think we can come back up definitely to 81, which is the next level of resistance based on Fibonacci, right? But let's see. We're going to find out very soon if the buyers come in with that big money to move. That's it. They bought what they wanted to bring it back up. We'll see that, but you're always going to see that on the smaller time frames as you move forward. Hey, if this is making sense to you right now, just type in yes in the comments. If this is making sense to you, maybe some of you, this is the first time that you've really sat with anyone and really did looking at analysis like from a 30,000 foot view, right? To give yourself an opportunity to look at things. Maybe you were always too focused on 5 and 10 minutes. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. This gives you the big picture. Now we're bringing in some of the outside stuff into crude oil. We talked about it since last week. We reinforced that on Sundays. You can go back to my video. Videos don't lie, and say, I will not be buying crude oil anytime soon. I am only looking for any pullbacks up to continue selling down because of what was happening. So if this is beginning to make sense, then that's awesome, because you are now beginning to, maybe for the first time in your trading career, in your trading profession, to start looking at things a little bit differently, looking at it from a bigger perspective. Always remember that the big time frames dictate where price goes, not the small time frames. You can see oil go up 100 points on a small time frame and think, oh, here's the reversal, and then it drops 200 points. That's just a pullback on a small time frame. So always, always, always look at the daily and look at the 8-hour chart. If that has a massive push down, don't try to trade against it, right? Go with the flow or don't trade at all. It's not yet ready. So now we're putting a case study together. Right now, we're looking at the big picture and realizing, okay, wait a minute. On the big scale of this thing, we're entering a nice Fibonacci level, because if this breaks and closes here, then more than likely our next stop is going to be boom, right in between this fib level, right? We are going to come down to 75 or so, 75.50. That's going to be our next stop in between here. So it's funny, it's right between 70 and 80 kind of. So we are going to come here. So we're going to wait. We are going to wait to see what happens. Don't be so hurry to hit that buy button yet. I would not. I'm telling you right now, hopefully everybody hears my advice in my group, in the members area. Let's wait. If you do want to get into a buy because you're a scalper or you want to try to get a part of a reversal, because this will reverse somewhat, this is the best area to do it. And the reason why I say that is because I do see this candle right here. No major wick ever came back up, neither on this one. So there's liquidity grabs sitting in here that they might come back up at least 50% to grab. And that would mean about 79 or 80, right? So again, I think we are going to see some form. I don't think we're going to see it today. I don't know if we're going to see it early into the session tonight. It may be late tomorrow. Remember, usually Thursdays is a very good day for reversals. So let's sit and wait. But will you get maybe some scalping opportunities on a smaller time frame? Absolutely. But we have to wait. So here we are on the 5-minute, right? Here we are on the 5-minute. We still have some way to go, right? We are sitting at a level here. But again, I'm not going to try to buy off of this sell. I'm going to wait, let price come back in here. Okay. And here, I don't know why I couldn't do it earlier, but I'm going to set my alert right here at 77.38. And I'm going to let it go deeper in the box. I'm going to let my alert crossing down. And I'm going to put my notes. Look at oil price action. That tells me is, hey, look, see what the candles are doing in this area with regards to jumping in. And I've already got a stop loss set if I take it. But for me, I want to see if it comes down into about 77. I'm going to try to get a little greedy and see if we can come down about another 80 points between later this afternoon and tonight. Okay. That's for me. So going back to the 8-hour, again, this is a huge falling candle. I'm not ready yet even to scalp it. Not yet. I want to see if we can go a little bit further down into that box And the reason why I say that is because if you look right here, there's 2 equal lows. So I think we're going to take out these 2 equal lows right over here, these 2 wicks. Once we take those out, right, I think that's why you'll see a push further down. So anywhere deeper in here between the 61 and the 88, then I'll be more convinced to jump into a buy position. First position, small lot, try to swing it back up 100 points. Second position will be a quick 20-point scalp or something of that nature. Okay. Awesome. So let me take a look at the comments. Hey, greetings from Italy. Beautiful place, Napoli. I definitely got to throw that one out there. Hey, awesome. Beautiful place. I went to Italy this summer, second time, but absolutely loved it. Portofino, one of my favorite spots in Italy. So I don't know how close you are to Portofino, but absolutely loved everything about Portofino, Italy. So again, welcome. Good to see that we have some international vibes going on here. Okay, so let's take a look now at, let's go over to jump into, if you have any questions on gold, let me know. We have about 15 to 20 minutes on this session right in here. Let's take a look at gold now. Let's see where gold is reacting. If you were on the live yesterday, we talked about gold had a huge gap still to fill at the bottom of gold, le bottom. And so, again, we had that 61.8 rejection, and we've been melting ever since. We talked about that. We got that nice rejection up in this area. This one hit 61. This one came back in between. We talked about that yesterday, and then we've been dropping to these lower levels here. So now we are going to start with a fresh slate. Again, there was no reason to buy gold, right? No reason to buy gold. None of these candles said, buy me, even with this wick, right? We had no reason to buy gold. We weren't ready yet. It was a lot riskier, right? Yes, scalping gives you the advantage that maybe you can get in and get out with a short risk management program. But again, for those of you that are swing traders, I know we have some swing traders that are looking for ideal entries, or futures traders where you can only trade in one direction. You definitely want to, try to get the best entry possible. Okay. So now, what are we looking at here? Well, let's take a look at a couple things. Number one is, let's identify that we have not been able to close below 1954, 1955. We've been here on a couple of occasions, right? So that's one thing for starters. I'm trying to see if I could find, let me go back over to the day chart. Yeah. Okay. So we are kind of here on the day chart. And again, this is kind of where, price took off. Again, we do have, let me grab a fib level. And we swung it up to this high here. Okay. So based on that one from when we originally took off, right, we still have a long way to go. The funny thing is that in this area, this is where the gap is located on my broker, okay, in the upper 1800s. So are we going to get there? I think we eventually have to get there, but it may just take its time. But right now, this is going to be the key level right here. If we close below this 1958, then we're going to start visiting these levels right here, because this Fibonacci is based on the daily time frame. And you can already see how it has respected on so many different levels, right? We had the bounce right here, this area. If we extend this Fibonacci over, we definitely had areas of resistance here to the top side. Okay, here it is again. And then we had bounces to the top, to the bottom side of support. So 100% Fibonacci's on the daytime chart, which maybe you're not accustomed to, is great to look at the overall chart when you are looking at that. Okay, so we are going to definitely look at that as we, I'll get to those questions in just a minute, as we look at gold. But this is going to be the first key level. We have to close below this area. We have to be able to take out this wick to go lower. Okay, so again, we've already retested this area twice, and I'm going to be coming down to a smaller time scale. So let's kind of frame where gold has been, right? We've kind of been in this little up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, we did not make a new high, okay? A new high would have been up here somewhere. So this appears the initial phase of we are beginning to walk it down little by little. Now, that doesn't mean it's just going to go all the way down, right? We're going to see some forms of resistance like we did here. Remember, you heard me talk about it yesterday. So gold, gold is a safe haven. When markets are unstable, people buy gold. When there's wars, people buy gold. So something could break out that we don't know about international, and gold shoots up, okay? And we talked about it yesterday as well. Something could come down the pike that there's a ceasefire, there's a truce, and gold will tank, okay? So gold, in my opinion, is suited right now for people who are like swing traders, meaning, hey, you're okay with holding for a week or two and stacking positions, especially if it goes back up, keep stacking sells, because we do have to come lower on gold, okay? We do have to come lower on gold, but that is going to be completely up to you and your style of trading, okay? So that is going to be 100% completely up to you and your style of trading. If that's for you, I would definitely look for any retracements up. We'll talk about that now. And then you would be looking to add positions anywhere up here, because I do believe that crude oil will come back down. I mean, gold will come back down eventually into these areas here. There's a lot of money sitting there that have to be recovered from the big institutions. Okay. There's a huge gap that has to be covered. So, what I want you to do now is, I don't know if we did it yesterday on gold, but go into your own broker and let me know if you have a gap in gold in the upper 1800s, 1900 area. Put that in the chat. I'm curious to see how many brokers still have a open gap in that area. Go take a look at your broker. You're going to have to scroll down about 1880, 1890. See if you have an open gap that was created 2 weeks ago on gold still open on your individual broker. And let me know yes or no in the actual chat. Question from Carlos. Do you have any comments on Exxon, sir? I don't trade stocks. I don't really look at stocks, to be honest with you. I don't trade Exxon. So if I get a chance at the end, I doubt, I can find that chart real quick and take a look at it. But I normally do not trade stocks like Exxon or any of those individual. But let me see if I can at least bring up that chart before I close real quick for you. Okay. So TOS still has a gap. If you can, tell me where that gap is on your chart. So here, give me the number just to see if they're kind of related to where mine is at. Tradeovate, I guess, has 4 hour chart. Okay, let me know what the price is, where that gap is, so we can kind of come to a consensus. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to kind of wait in here. Again, this would be an area that I would have to use caution if we look at the 4 hour time frame. Okay, now we can see we're in this key area right in here, right? We're bouncing in this area. Eventually, we have to do one of two things. We have to break it and go lower, right? Or decide to come back up to get some liquidity. My personal feeling on this, again, is that we are going to come up a little bit, because I see a lot of candles here that haven't been wicked, meaning there hasn't been any liquidation out of those candles. So I would love for price to come back in here in this area. And then I'm a seller again of gold. I keep wanting to say crude oil. Okay, I'm a seller again here of gold. If we get back into this area, I'm a seller of gold. I'm going to wait to sell gold again if I get that confirmation where I get that candle to come down in here. And then if it gives me, hopefully, the retest back up in this area, and then continue here. Okay. Because I think we're going to begin to walk it down little by little. So even though this thing can shoot up 100 points, I'm not going to buy gold. I'm not going to buy gold. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to wait to see if I can get a retracement near the 61.8 because I see some candles here that still need liquidity fills. Maybe they'll come back up and maybe they'll push up, especially since we've had 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, right? We've had over 30 hours of complete sales. There probably needs to be some type of retracement, kind of like over here. Okay, we had all these sell candles, and then we had a retracement up. Okay, we had a retracement up. So that's what I'm going to be looking for over here. And let's just see, for grins and giggles, this retracement up, because they love to do what they do all the time. This retracement up only went up to about the 38, then it came down. We went up to and then we came back up to this zone again. Okay, so again, I'm not banking on it going all the way back up, but anything here, I'm okay to enter. And if it goes up even higher, I'm adding more positions up here because I know what's at the bottom. Okay, I know what's at the bottom. So that's kind of my take on gold, is looking to continue selling on there. Okay, so here's a confirmation that on TOS, we've got gaps on gold sitting at 1847 to 1860. So that tells you now multiple brokers have tons of gaps open. Okay, here's another one, 1848 to 1858 on gold futures. Okay, that is great news because gaps of that size have to close. Okay, I think when I went back for a 2-year mark, I think I saw one chart where gaps did not close. Okay, at all. It went over a year without a gap closing. Very rare. So again, the only reason we are this high on gold right now is because what's happening in Israel. If Israel was not happening, gold would have already closed that gap. Okay, gold. So this is exactly right. Right. You keep selling that impulsive move up. That's exactly right. So develop your game plan, whether you want to be, on this chart that I gave you, right? If you want to be a 50% seller, meaning on the Fibonacci level, if you want to be on the 38%, for me, I'm going to see if it can come up a little bit higher, somewhere in here. Because I know this is a zone anyways, right? So somewhere in here, I'd like for price to come to give me my first entry. Right? I would love for my first entry to be in here. If it goes higher, I'll be stacking entries, and these will definitely be holding them until we come right back down to where we are now, which is about 1962. Okay. If this thing just shoots down, then I'm waiting for this scenario right here. I'm waiting for this scenario right here because there's a lot of pips to catch between 1962 and 1933. And remember the game plan. We still got to go down into the 1800s. Okay. So, if your stomach, we're going to be talking about stress. And I got a great list of videos, by the way, I'm going to be doing on mental health for traders. I've already got an outline. I've got some objectives I want to cover on those. We're just going to be kind of like some talking type of things because I think stress and mental health is so important for traders, whether you're doing it full-time or part-time, so that you can keep your sanity doing this. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up on this channel. It'll be a separate area, but it's going to be within this channel as well, because I think that's important. And thank you to those of you who have recommended to do more videos on that kind of stuff, because I think that is super, super important. So let's go ahead and, hey, a shout out to Got Sports. What are you talking about? We don't have 20 likes yet on this stream with over 20 people on here. Come on. You guys can do it. Come on. I can just hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. Come on. All right. So, yeah, I'll definitely be dropping that in there as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at with regards to that. It is 12:30. I wanted to kind of give you some feedback on that as well. Again, I talked about it yesterday. I know yesterday we talked about, I think, about the NASDAQ. Luckily, I had my stop loss in profit, like 2 points. The NASDAQ took off again today. The markets are being super, super manipulated. So just use caution if you're trading indices. There needs to be a huge reversal, which hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. And when it happens, I'm just thinking everything is going to fall majorly. Everything is going to fall majorly when it falls. So again, now let me go back into the chart, and I like to try to help when I can. So again, if you need screenshots of this, take a look at it. Again, I don't really trade this, but let's take a look at this Exxon stuff. And again, just looking at let me go to the day chart for those of you that might get into like an account. And by the way, inside of our members group, I'm going to be sharing some links over the next couple of days. I ended up getting some free Webull stocks that they gave me for signing up. And like within 2 weeks, I was up $187 and I did nothing to it. So I'm going to be sharing you with the link because you can also get free stocks as well. Now that we're talking about Exxon. So again, I just started building a little portfolio using Webull and trading right in the market and just closing whenever I decide to. But yeah, free stocks made me $187. So I'll be dropping those in the link. I don't know if that's only for US or not. Yeah, these stock things are like a little weird because of the way the gap, but you do the same type of thing here. Yeah, I mean, hey, Exxon, Exxon is what I would call if I was trading it like anything else. And again, I'd have to go back and review charts to look how this thing moves. Like that would be an ideal place to look for a buy, like for that person who wanted Exxon. And it would look something like this. For me, I would trade it just like anything else. I would look to kind of get in there, taking it back up to the zero line would be ideal. And the stop loss would be below this low and your spread. So again, it's almost a 5.5 to 1 scenario type of thing. So if you were looking for Exxon, that's kind of what I would be looking at if I was trading it. Not looking back at the history, which is kind of fruitless for me to give you this information, but just based on the technicals, that's definitely where I would look at to trade that Exxon stock if you were looking to do some of that stuff. Okay, awesome. Yep. Hey, you're welcome, Carlos. Hopefully that helps you out, man. Good luck. I never really got into that. I just kind of, I'm just tinkling now with stocks inside of this Webull account, just looking for a low. And maybe you gave me one here. Maybe I'll jump in some Exxon and just buy it and wait till I'm up and then close the trade. I've just got like I said, I just got about a few $100 in there that I'm working with in there that I made. I don't even know how I made it, but now I'm excited. So I want to go ahead and use it. Hey, okay. I hope you got some value on today's session. We are 2 days in a row of doing 12 noon sessions to kind of give you what's up, what's going on. I like this time because the major movement of the market has happened and now really gives us places to zero in for the second half of the week, especially today. Today's Tuesday. Typically what happens is Monday, Tuesday, and this is typically Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday, we see one direction, and then we begin to see some type of movement down, at least partial, late Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Sometimes it's just a continuation of the original direction that started on Monday on the weekly calendar. Weekly candle. So it's so important. Don't forget tomorrow, crude oil inventories in the morning as well. Okay. And awesome. Hey, I'm glad you took some. Yeah, I should have taken my profits at 20. I didn't. I said I'm just gonna wait until the morning or the afternoon and see if it drops any lower. And it closed me out with like 1 point in profit because I saw today it reversed. So I'm gonna start looking at it later tonight or tomorrow, and we'll definitely jump in there. So tomorrow I will not have a live session at 12 because I've got too many coaching calls that I'm going to be on, and I need a break in between. So, and by the way, in our members group, that group coaching call is going to happen next week. I'll put out the date. I'll put out a link so you can sign up and register. That group coaching call will happen next week. So look out for that. But I plan to do this again on Thursday to prep you up for the rest of Thursday and into Friday, now that crazy Friday NFP is over. So, hey, enjoy the rest of your day. Give back to someone if you can. Be kind. Say hello. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while and say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm here if you need anything. Be the better person. All right. We've all been hurt by others, but if you can step back and maybe make a phone call, shoot a text message, say hello, smile to someone, you can actually make their day. And that is worth a lot more than what's inside of your trading accounts. Okay. Have a good day, and I'll see you on our next live analysis.